And let's bring in former Republican presidential candidate and author of the new book, Truths, The Future of America First, Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, it's always great to see you. So Kamala Harris is going to the border tomorrow. She's going clearly because she's behind in the polls on immigration. My question to you, Vivek, do you think this is beneficial to her campaign or detrimental?
I actually predict it's going to be detrimental because it draws greater attention to the issue that Americans already care most about, which is sealing that border and solving the immigration crisis in this country. That record is on her hands, whether or not she does a sham show visit to the border now or not. Either way, I think the candidates now, the cake is baked in the voters' minds. They know what the record was over the last 4 years versus from 2016 to 2020. That's the stone cold hard truth. And if you want to seal the border, I think there's no doubt where voters know where to go for that. It's not in Kamala Harris's direction.
Interesting, Vivek, you talk about her record because The Hill writes the following, quoting here, Harris was the border czar. Democrats and the media can't erase that, but they are trying so badly to erase the fact and blame all of those millions of illegal immigrants coming in on former President Trump.
Until we get to mass deportations, they're not actually going to be able to erase it. It's actually one of the core themes in the book that's out this week as well. An open border is not a border, period. And yes, that means sealing the border physically, but it also means ending the incentives to be here illegally as well. End the funding for sanctuary cities. End birthright citizenship for the kids of illegal aliens. That's a controversial point, but in the book I actually make this point, Trace. That is something that we're able to do under the Constitution, under a careful reading of the 14th Amendment even today. And then when it comes to legal immigration, and this is something I'd like to see Republicans talk more about, we need to make sure that nobody enters the country who's going to be a day one dependent on the U.S. welfare system. That's a big problem. If we fix that, we have most of the immigration problem solved, in my opinion.
You know, FoxNews.com writes the following here. Wealthy liberal Nantucket sees 4 ICE arrests in 48 hours on child sex allegations. The sub-headline you see there, each suspect that ICE has arrested on the islands over the last month have been charged with sex crimes, mainly against minors. And I know you were in Springfield, Ohio last week, Vivek. They're having these issues in Aurora, Colorado, and El Paso, Texas. These are small areas. I mean, you look at New York City, you look at L.A. and Chicago, they cannot handle the influx of migrants. How in the world do we expect these smaller cities to handle it?
I mean, a place like Springfield absolutely can't. It was an important town to me growing up. I spent a lot of time there as a kid, so I felt like I couldn't turn my back on the city. I went there, and one of the things I found, Trace, is that people in Springfield are welcoming. They are welcoming of immigrants. I've had family members who live near and around Springfield. It's a welcoming community, but when you talk about the strain on social services, when you talk about the strain on schools, when you talk about the language barriers, you have 20,000 people trying to integrate themselves into a community of 58,000 people. That just doesn't work. People in Springfield were hungry to be heard. I put a post on social media saying we're showing up. You know what? There was hundreds of people packing a room inside, hundreds more waiting outside. About 2,000 people wanted to come that RSVP'd. Tells me that a big part of the problem here is that people in American communities just need to be heard. We can't sweep their concerns under the rug anymore.
Yep.
Is there room for immigrants who benefit the United States of America? Yes, but that's the immigration system we need and deserve.
Vivek Ramaswamy, it's always great to have you on the show. Congratulations on the new book. We hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.